Hey, how we doing? Welcome back to the channel on this fine Tuesday, still Tuesday morning for another, 18 minutes. So yeah, what's going on? Well, it's 21st of April, and that means my birthday was yesterday. But before we get too involved, how about a big thumbs up? Like, share, subscribe, help me out with that algorithm by hitting the like button. So, I've been graced with another year on the planet. God gave me another year. I had my birthday yesterday. Yes, my birthday is 4/20. Some say best birthday date ever. Others have no clue what we're talking about. So those that are in the know about 420, yeah, you get it. But I'm too old for that nonsense these days. I'm pretty mellow. So I'm out here riding around, and yesterday I was thinking, which, believe it or not, is extremely dangerous when I think. And here's the reason why. I got 67 years under my belt. Well, not quite yet, because I got to go this year to complete the 67th one. So anywho, I was thinking, of all, back to when I was a young man, and, I used to say, well, I'll be lucky if I make 25, I'll be lucky if I make 30. And I mean, we do it tongue-in-cheek, but what I'm trying to get at is, I think for an individual, I've been through a lot, and I survived quite a bit. And I mean, I started jotting down these things on one of the forums I'm on about things that I have survived. So, well, in no particular order, let's see, October 28th of 1979, 20-year-old me with a 67 Mustang fastback to boot, classic, right? 4-speed top-loaded transmission. I rolled that over. Nearly killed my friend. And, didn't learn from my lesson. I continued to drink after that. We were both very lucky to have survived. I broke all my ribs on my right side, separated my shoulder and broke my clavicle. Is it the clavicle, the shoulder blade? Whatever. But anyhow, yeah, I survived fungal pneumonia, bacterial pneumonia, a couple of cases of bronchitis, the COVID, survived that. That tried to kill me. Didn't have any luck on that. Came to about as close to drowning as one can possibly come to drowning without actually drowning. Little backstory, back in my 30s, I was into cycling really big, trying to stay fit and healthy, and we took vacation up in New Hampshire, and staying at one of my cold workers' cottages on Sebago Lake. And of course, I brought my bike because cycling in New Hampshire is awesome. Motorcycling is better though. But anyhow, I digress. I went out for a nice, I think at the time, I did like 85, almost 90 miles, and I came back, and hot and sweaty being July, and I decided I would take a swim. Well, about 100 yards off the shore was a raft. It was looking pretty lonely, and I thought to myself, well, hell, I'm fit. I do all these big bicycle rides, go out and ride, You know, I do 25 to 30 miles every day after work, and on the weekends I go out and I do a 100-mile day. Yeah, I can do this. I can swim out there. But you know, what we forget as adults is, what I forgot is all that lactic acid builds up in your legs once you stop moving and you don't hydrate. And I swam out, well, I started to swim out to this raft, and I started fading pretty fast, and I want to say I was probably a good 25 feet from this raft, and that was it. I had no more kick in my legs. They were like lead weights, and I was struggling. I mean, I was barely moving my arms, and I started to sink. And I was like, oh, well, this is it. And I mean, I gave, somehow I got both my arms in front of me, and I gave, you know, I don't know the name of the stroke, but I just, you know, kind of cupped my hands and gave a big giant stroke like that. And I put my hands in front of me again. I just was outreached, and lo and behold, my fingertips hit the very bottom rung of the ladder that was down, hanging off this raft. And when I say underwater, I'm talking, when I pulled myself up, I had to pull myself up a good 3 rungs before my head popped out of the water. And I took the deepest breath of air you could ever imagine. And I mean, but that ordeal wasn't over yet, because now I had to get back to shore. And when I say spent, I mean I'm spent. I was just laying out there on my back, you know, trying to gain my composure, I guess you could say. And you know, I can hear my wife on the shore yelling at me if I'm okay. And you know, just kind of gave a wave. Yeah, shut up. You know, let me die here in peace. And I was out there. Oh, I'm gonna have to say, yeah, I'm waving. Now, mind you, I'm waving at all these boaters, and they're waving back, and I'm like trying to signal them to come over, and nah, nobody's having none of it. And I'm like, oh, what a bunch of idiots. And finally, the neighbors to my where I was staying showed up, and the kid hollered out to me, and he goes, "Are you all right?" And I goes, "No." I goes, I need help getting back to shore. I barely made it out here. And this was a good 3 hours later. And he came out on a styrofoam boogie board, and he brought one out for me. And yeah, I made my way back to shore. I thanked him profusely, and I'll say one thing though, I never did that again. I'm very leery of water now. I don't swim very often, and when I do, it's usually in a pool. I can't tell you the last time I went to the beach, although I have been to the beach, but I don't go in the water. So that's that. It's crazy, you know. And thinking, you know, the Mustang accident probably would have been enough to kill most people. I mean, you figure the thing the witnesses said had flipped over several times. So, young and dumb. How the accident happened is of no consequence. Let's just say drinking and driving on fair tires is not a very smart idea. So, and I mean, you know, like I said, a couple of illnesses. My gallbladder ruptured. So yeah, I had all that inside me. Perforated. I think I had a perforated. Well, whatever. My gallbladder exploded while it was still inside my body. Not good. Another time I had sepsis. I don't know how I got sepsis. I don't know why. I know sepsis is a blood disease. I had no open cuts. Nothing weird was going on. No drugs. No IVs or anything like that. I just one day just started feeling crappy and just got progressively worse from crappy and ended up getting rushed to the hospital and lo and behold, sepsis. So, and then of course the doctors and the nurses all play 20 questions with you is, why do you have sepsis? Well, I don't do drugs, I don't share needles, I don't do a whole lot of things. So, that was crazy. So are you a survivor? I consider myself a survivor. You know? I really do. You think about all the crap, and I mean, and there was, before I got married, there was this domestic incident at my house, and had a family member shoot at me. Like, luckily he missed. I mean, I laugh about it now. It's kind of funny. Yeah, but you gotta laugh at these things. So, are you a survivor? Let me know. What's your worst? I mean, I'll be honest, I hate hospitals. I don't think anybody likes hospitals, and I mean, I can get my wife on video and she will attest to the fact that when I have to go to the hospital, stop the car, let me out, go home, continue on with your life, leave me alone to do hospital things. I don't even want visitors when I'm in the hospital. I don't care. One of my really bad battles with pneumonia, and I want to say it was the bacterial pneumonia, and I had a temperature that was 105. The nurses, doctors couldn't believe it was that high, and I was still able to talk, and they asked me if I wanted to speak to clergy because I was that sick. I went, no, I'm going home in a week. And I went home in a week. Yeah, much to their surprise. So, yeah, I'm a tough old guy. Maybe I'm too stupid to be any other ways, but I've handled quite a bit of adversity. There's a lot of a lot of emotional turmoil also. You figure when loved ones die, I mean, lost my mother. I'll admit it, I was a mother's boy. I mean, when my mom died, I was devastated. Just about ate myself to death. And lost my father, a few years back. 11 years ago. Yeah, almost 11 years ago. But that didn't bother me. We were always so far apart as father and son. I mean, yeah, he was my father. That was about all there was to that relationship, sadly. And, nothing can be worse than losing your child. I mean, I lost my son. It's going to be 6 years this year. I lost my son, and I mean, I was devastated. I mean, I think both me and my wife were pretty much suicidal the first 3 or 4 days, and until we, went back to church and asked God for guidance. And that's the only thing that got us through that. So let me know in the comments, are you a survivor? Are you fortunate? Do you have your health? I mean, I think back, I mean, I'm not wealthy by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, there are weeks where I don't come out on the motorcycle simply because I don't have gas money. I need that money for something else. So, I mean, if I don't have the extra money for gas, yeah, the motorcycle stays parked and I do crap around the house. I mean, I don't have that luxury of just going out every day, once a week or twice a week like I like to do. I don't have that luxury. Groceries are brutally expensive. Gasoline is moronically expensive. So, that's that. I mean, and the way me and my wife look at it, we have a roof over our house. We have food on the table. We have our health. Well, what more can we ask for? We have enough money to buy groceries and pay the bills. Yeah, so that's it. Let me know in the comments what struggles you've been through. I mean, I gotta keep an eye. I don't remember where my turn is. I don't go this way. I don't go this way. I gotta look for a big giant field on either side of the road and make a turn. And that's not it. That's a cul-de-sac. And there's wind. Oh, I know in my last video I mentioned about the wind and how windy it's been lately. This wind is ridiculous. We are under a weather fire advisory. Now, living in Florida, where it rains all the time, you would think, yeah, you got no problem. No, we haven't had any substantial rain in months on end. I mean, literally, no substantial rain in months on end. And we are under this, it's very dry. The humidity is nil. We have little to no humidity. Yeah, this is my turn. I don't know where all this water's coming from because we're not getting any rain. I have no idea where this water is coming from. So, yeah, we're fire weather advisory. And according to the talking heads on the news and the Weather Channel, we're over 30 inches of rain deficit. 30 inches. That's some people's inseam. I mean, I have a 32-inch inseam. So 30 inches would be up to my, be up to there. Wow. This wind. This is how bad the wind is. I turned sideways to the wind, and now I'm getting blown all over the place. This is crazy. This is crazy. This remains. Well, see, now once I get to those trees, I'll be fine. I gotta tell you, wow. I gotta concentrate here until I get out of this wind. Wow, this sucks. So many years ago, way back in the early 80s, holy smokes. Okay, all right, now I'm okay now. I've got the trees as a buffer. But many years ago, back in the early 80s, me and my brother, we were on our way to Maine in the wee hours of the morning, because that's what we did. We used to, head out at old dark 30, and it was a windy day, and I want to say it was late spring. I want to say it was still May, and When we got up into New Hampshire, it started getting really windy because I-95 comes really close to the ocean there in in New Hampshire and going into Maine. Oh, that was fun going around those ways. I'm gonna have to do that more often. But anywho, it was really windy, and we noticed when we pulled out of the toll plaza there in Portsmouth that it was getting brutally windy. We had no communication at the time. We did have super bikes, or what they called super bikes at the time. Both of us were on Kawasaki's leader bikes, and anyway, so as we're approaching the Picataquis River Bridge now, I love that bridge. I don't know why, but I mean, even though I didn't live in Maine or grow up in Maine, I mean, my parents had a cottage up there. I was up there all the time, working on the land, and I was going to move up there, and I was going to buy the land from my parents, or they were going to gift it to me, but that just never happened for reasons. And but anyways, it was so windy, and I mean, so windy going over the Picataquis River Bridge that both of us, the bikes were leaning at a 45-degree angle going straight ahead. It was absolutely insane. Now, being down here in Florida, I have been in some windy conditions, especially going over the Skyway, the Sunshine Skyway Bridge. But man, I have never ever felt wind like I felt that morning in, I want to say, mid-May, that it was that windy that we were, bikes were leaning over at a 45-degree angle. And, at the time, I mean, we really didn't give it much thought. We were just plowing along 65, 70 miles an hour. But you think about it, that's quite scary. That's really scary. And I'm out here today. I'm trying to do 200 plus miles today. I really want to do 200 plus miles. I don't know much. I got 65 miles to empty. I don't know how many miles I got to go because I really don't want to stop for gas. If I got to stop for gas, I'm just going to go home. And I'll have to try it another day because the wind, I know for a fact the wind is killing the miles, the MPG. It really is. Yeah, I got 66 miles. I got 166 on the odometer. So that means I need I need 40. I need 30 something. So I need 34 miles to make 200. And I got what? I got 64 miles to empty. Yeah, we should be able to do it. I'll let you know when I get back to the house. Yeah. Pay attention, I got a turn coming up. I haven't gone this way in forever and a day. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be, I will get 200, but I don't think I'm going to do the real big one. Yeah, I really don't want to have to stop and get gas. I don't like buying gas twice in the same day, unless I'm leaving the state. Does that make sense? Probably doesn't. See, I'm weird. I'm weird like that. I'm very weird like that. But anywho, so, yeah, another birthday yesterday, 420, fun stuff. Yeah, here's my turn. A lot of sand out on the road. Lots and lots of sand out on the road. Scary. Very scary. Especially in the corners. The corner I crashed in, I should have recorded it. The whole thing was covered in sand. I had to go around it at about 3 miles an hour. So, that's about it. I mean, not much else is going on. Yeah, but let me know down below. Are you a survivor? Have you had some crazy nonsense go on in your life? I know some of you veterans, you must have seen some pretty ugly things and survived. I mean, you don't have to get into any details if you don't want. You just say, hey, I survived Vietnam, or I survived Korea, or if you're really old, I survived World War II. And if you're really, really old, World War, nah. I don't think there's anybody from World War I around. See, I don't know where all this water is coming from because we're in a massive drought. We really are. I mean, unless they had localized thunderstorms last night, which I doubt, because I mean, I don't remember hearing anything about it. Haven't been down this road in a dog's age. I like it. This is well, where I just turned onto this road, the road that's off to the left is called Clay Gully Road. I like that. That's the road that runs out behind Myakka State Park. Yeah, I know I'm on the wrong side of the road, but nothing was coming. And this here, I forget. I think this is County Line Road. Yeah. Yeah, this is County Line Road. I like it. I wish I knew they were growing in there. I keep saying one of these, those look like tomato plants. I keep saying one of these days I'm going to stop and talk to one of these field bosses, I guess they're called. Yeah, we're going to slow down a lot. Yeah, I talked to one of those field bosses and find out what they're growing. I know when I go down that Goose Pond Road that they plant peppers down there all the time. And I would like to talk to those guys and see if I can't get some fresh peppers. I love peppers. Yeah. So, I would love to live out here. Don't have the do-re-mi though. I'm not that fortunate to be able to live out here. But I'm fortunate that I live where I live. Alright, no, that's about it. I got nothing more to say except this, if you know who to talk to turn off the wind, tell them enough is enough already. Now, this is getting ridiculous. I mean, it's killing my fuel economy. I really wanted to try to do a 220. Look at this. See, I don't know. Can you see all the dirt in the road? You got to be able to see all the dirt in the road. Yeah, this is crazy, especially there. Yeah, not too bad. Dusty. Wow. Yeah, if you know who to call to turn off the wind, let them know Grumpy Old Man has had enough of the wind. It's been like this, since, I want to say it's been like this since the last week of March. And here we are, the 21st of April. This is crazy. I've had a month of this non-stop wind. All right, well, I'm going to be turning out onto a very busy road, State Road 70. I I will come in and show you guys the final mileage when I get to the house. I think it's just gonna be 200, maybe 210-ish. But until then, you know, like I said, give me a big thumbs up and you know, stick around. We're gonna see what's going on, okay? Well, hey, it's been a while, and what? Well, I had to stop for gas because when I realized that it was 40 miles to home and I had 30 miles to empty, that math does not equate. So I don't even know if this thing is recording or not. Is it? Probably not. Okay. Can't see the dot. Interesting. So yeah. So yeah, 40 miles to home and 30 miles to empty. Yeah, that math doesn't work. And I don't know if anybody else's math book works like that, but mine doesn't. So I'm about 6/10 of a mile from the house, and I've gone 241 miles. Not bad. Not bad for 8:30. So 4 hours. Not bad for 5-hour ride. All back roads. Maybe what? I got 2 red lights. 3 red lights leaving town and 2 red lights coming back into town. So yeah, it was yeah, not bad for 5 hours. I wonder how far that would get me on the interstate, 5 hours. Oh, that's that. And as usual, thanks for sticking by, hanging out. Let me know down below if you're a survivor or not. Big thumbs up. Peace. God bless. Thanks for watching.